However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. 1. Remember to look up at the stars. 2. Never give up work. 3. If you are lucky enough to find love. We are just an advanced breed of monkeys on a minor planet of a very average star. But we can understand the universe. That makes us something very special. Quiet people have the loudest minds. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Even if there is only one possible unified theory, what breathes fire into the equations and makes a universe for them to describe? My expectations were reduced to zero when I was 21. Everything since then has been a bonus. If time travel is possible, where are the tourists from the future? I have noticed that even those who assert that everything is predestined, still look both ways before they cross the street. People who boast about their IQ are losers. Although I cannot move and I have to speak through a computer, in my mind I am free. I believe the simplest explanation is, there is no God. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe. One of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist. The universe doesn't allow perfection. I think computer viruses should count as life. I think it says something about human nature that the only form of life we have created so far is purely destructive. The role played by time at the beginning of the universe. For me, this means there is no possibility of a creator. It is a waste of time to be angry about my disability. One has to get on with life. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. My advice to other disabled people would be, concentrate on things your disability doesn't prevent you doing well. Don't be disabled in spirit. The downside of my celebrity is that I cannot go anywhere in the world without being recognized. We are running out of space and the only places to go to are other worlds. I'm an optimist. I have lived with the prospect of an early death for the last 49 years. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. There is a fundamental difference between religion, which is based on authority, and science, which is based on observation and reason. Science will win, because it works. Science is not only a disciple of reason but, also, one of romance and passion. If we find the answer to that, it would be the ultimate triumph of human reason, for then we would know the mind of God. Primitive life is relatively common, but that intelligent life is very rare. Our only chance of long-term survival is not to remain lurking on planet Earth, but to spread out into space. God may exist, but science can explain the universe without the need for a creator. Many people find the universe confusing. It's not. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. Science can lift people out of poverty and cure disease. That, in turn, will reduce civil unrest. Science is increasingly answering questions that used to be the province of religion. Scientists have become the bearers of the torch of discovery in our quest for knowledge. The past, like the future, is indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. The universe is not indifferent to our existence, it depends on it. There is no unique picture of reality. There is nothing bigger or older than the universe. When one's expectations are reduced to zero, one really appreciates everything one does have. It would not be much of a universe if it wasn't home to the people you love. We are all different, but we share the same human spirit. My goal is simple. It is a complete understanding of the universe, why it is as it is and why it exists at all. For millions of years, mankind lived just like the animals. I have lived with the prospect of an early death for the last 49 years. My expectations were reduced to zero when I was 21. Everything since then has been a bonus. Although I cannot move and I have to speak through a computer, in my mind I am free. The victim should have the right to end his life. While there's life, there is hope. Not only does God play dice but He sometimes throws them where they cannot be seen. If we find the answer to why the universe exists, it would be the ultimate triumph of human reason, for then we would know the mind of God. Primitive life is relatively common, but intelligent life is very rare. I don't think the human race will survive the next 1,000 years, unless we spread into space. But I'm an optimist. It is time to explore other solar systems. Spreading out may be the only thing that saves us from ourselves. The Earth is under threat, difficult for me to be positive. Spreading out into space will completely change the future of humanity. These are engineering problems, and engineers' challenges tend, eventually, to be solved. I have so much I want to do first. I never expected to reach 75, so I feel very fortunate to be able to reflect on my legacy. I think my greatest achievement will be my discovery that black holes are not entirely black. The brain is a computer which will stop working when its components fail. The concept of an afterlife is a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. Science makes God unnecessary. One can't prove that God doesn't exist, but science makes God unnecessary. Each generation stands on the shoulders of those who have gone before them. Philosophy is dead, philosophers have not kept up with modern developments in science. Love, faith and morality belong to a different category to physics. If the universe adds up to nothing, then you don't need a God to create it. I am just a child who has never grown up. I still keep asking these how and why questions. Occasionally, I find an answer. God is the name people give to the reason we are here. Our worst mistake ever would be dismissive about artificial intelligence. Our future is a race between the growing power of our technology and the wisdom with which we use it. If humanity is to continue for another 1,000,000 years, our future lies in going boldly, where no one else has gone before. Only science can save us from our mistakes. We will develop a positive relation with intelligent machines. I have found far greater enthusiasm for science in America than here in Britain. I believe there are no questions that science can't answer about a physical universe. Many people find the universe confusing. It's not. People who boast about their IQ are losers. Not only rational but romantic and passionate, science has romance. It surprises me how disinterested we are today about things like physics, space. Our greatest hopes could become reality, the possibilities are unbounded. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. It matters that you don't just give up. It is a waste of time to be angry about my disability. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. Next time someone complains that you have made a mistake, tell him that may be a good thing. Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. We are running out of space. If there was a time machine, I would go back to 1967, and the birth of my first child, Robert. We share the same human spirit. His greatest achievement will be, black holes are not entirely black. A unified theory removes the need for a grand designer. The role played by time at the beginning of the universe. Time itself must come to a stop. There was no time before the Big Bang. We have finally found something that does not have a cause. If time travel is possible, where are the tourists from the future? I think computer viruses should count as life. The only form of life we have created so far is purely destructive. One of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it.